You know that feeling when the city's hum seems to solidify around you? It's not just sound anymore. It becomes a physical weight, a pressure that holds you in place. The chorus of sirens, the distant rumble of the train, the chatter of 1,000 lives, it all blends into a single, monotonous note that pins you down. You're standing still, but not out of choice. It's an internal pause, a point of stillness where everything inside you just freezes. I'm standing here now, my hand resting on the cool leather of the seat. I can feel the entire weight of my bike under my palm. It's a heavy, beautiful thing, but right now, standing motionless on the pavement, it feels so vulnerable, unstable. A gust of wind, a slight push, and it would surrender to gravity. It's a silent, constant struggle just to remain upright. It's strange, isn't it? We often think of stillness as a source of peace, of stability. But this isn't that kind of quiet. This is the stillness of stagnation. You know that feeling I'm talking about? When you're rooted to the spot, paralyzed by the sheer volume of life, of routine and expectations, and yet you feel like you're about to fall over. It's a quiet, internal vertigo. The world keeps rushing past, a blur of motion, and your own inertia makes you dizzy. My bike knows the secret, though. It understands this paradox better than I do. While it's motionless, it's just this dense collection of metal and wire fighting a losing balance with balance. But the moment we begin to move, the second the wheels start to turn, it finds its own grace, its purpose. The road taught me one very important thing. To keep from falling, you have to keep moving. Not as an escape, not running away from the noise. It's not about fleeing. It's about moving toward yourself. And it all begins with this one decision, to just start. You know that feeling? The one right before you begin something, when the sheer weight of it all seems to hold you in place. That's how it is with the bike before we move. It's just this heavy, beautiful sculpture of steel and chrome leaning into me, trusting me to keep it from falling. And in that moment, it feels like I'm holding up more than just a machine. I'm holding the weight of the day, the gravity of my own thoughts, the stillness that can sometimes feel like a trap. It's a delicate, fragile balance, held together by nothing more than my own strength. Standing still is the hardest part. Then the moment comes, not with a roar, not with a grand gesture. It's a quiet promise, a soft click as I shift into first, a gentle release of the clutch, feeling the engine's heartbeat connect to the wheel. And then, the smallest, most insignificant push with the ball of my foot against the asphalt. A movement so tiny you'd barely notice it. It's almost nothing, just a whisper of intent. The gravel crunches softly, and the world tilts for a fraction of a second. And that's when the magic happens. In that very instant, with the first slow, deliberate turn of the wheel, the weight vanishes. It just dissolves into the air. The bike straightens up, no longer a burden I have to support, but a partner that carries me forward. It finds its own grace, its own equilibrium, and I find mine right along with it. It's the most incredible paradox. To gain stability, you must embrace motion. To find your balance, you must be willing to move. The road taught me one important thing, maybe the most important of all. It's all in that first push. We always think that to change something big in our lives, we need a monumental effort, a giant leap of faith. But it's not true. All we really need is that first, almost imperceptible movement. The decision to gently push off from where we are, to let go of the brake, to let go of the moment to begin. It's like the first deep breath after holding it for far too long, a quiet release, a silent beginning. And suddenly, you're not still anymore. You're rolling, and the whole world opens up in front of you. The long, straight stretch of highway finally yields, as if taking a deep breath and relaxing into the landscape. The scent of pine and damp earth begins to replace the smell of hot, monotonous asphalt. The world, which for the last hour was just a blur of fields on the periphery, now comes into closer focus. The trees stand out, each one an individual, and the sun filtering through the canopy creates a shifting mosaic of light and shadow on the road ahead. The straight line is over. The dance begins. You know that feeling, don't you? When the road ahead stops being a simple equation of A to B and starts to ask questions. It coils and uncoils, a ribbon of asphalt laid gently over the curves of the earth. At first, your instinct might be to tense up. A turn is an unknown, a momentary blindness to what lies beyond. You see the warning sign, the yellow arrow bending at a sharp angle, and your body braces for a challenge. But on a bike, fighting is the one thing that will throw you off balance. The first real curve arrives, a long, sweeping right-hander that disappears into the forest. A gentle pressure on the handlebar, a slight shift of my weight in the seat, and the bike responds. It doesn't fight me, it leans with me. We tilt together, a single entity finding its equilibrium against the pull of physics. It's not a battle, it's an invitation, a quiet conversation between me, the machine, and the contour of the land. This isn't an obstacle, it's a part of a dance. I lean, the bike follows, and for a few perfect seconds, we are in perfect harmony with the curve. And it was in that moment, with the engine humming a steady, reassuring rhythm and the world tilted at a gentle angle, that I understood. Life is constantly throwing these turns at us, isn't it? A new job, a sudden move, a relationship that changes its course, a plan that just doesn't go straight. For so long, I think I tried to fight them. I'd see a change coming, a deviation from the straight path I'd meticulously planned, and I'd tense up. I'd grip the handlebars of my life too tightly, trying to force it to go straight when the path itself was bending. I was so focused on resisting the turn that I was creating my own instability. The road taught me one important thing today. The first rule they teach you about cornering is to look through the turn. You don't stare at the pavement rushing by right in front of your wheel or at the guardrail on the edge. You fix your gaze on the exit, on that point where the road straightens out again, on where you want to be. Your body, your hands, the bike itself, they all subconsciously follow your eyes. And it's the same with life's corners. If we fixate on the fear, on the potential for a fall, on the gravel of uncertainty right at our feet, that's exactly where we'll end up. But if you lift your chin, trust your own innate sense of balance, and look toward the open road ahead, toward the future you want to ride into, you just flow right through it. You lean into the change, not away from it. You trust that you are capable of handling the curve. Now, the turns don't feel like interruptions anymore. They feel like the road's melody. Another curve approaches, this time to the left, tighter than the last. But there's no tension, no fear, just a calm lean, a steady gaze toward the exit, and a feeling of grace as I glide through it. In the roar of the wind, you sometimes hear the most important answers. And the answer today is simple. Don't fight the bends in your path. Lean into them. Trust that you have the balance you need. And always, always look where you want to go. The rest is just a beautiful dance. You know that feeling, after a series of tight, demanding turns that require all your focus, when the road finally unfolds before you, a long, straight ribbon of asphalt pulling the horizon closer. It's like taking a deep, slow breath after holding it for too long. My shoulders relax, my grip on the handlebars softens. The world stops tilting and finds its center again. The engine note changes too. It settles from a variable growl into a single, unwavering hum, a mantra. And with that sound, something inside me begins to quiet down. All those thoughts that were swarming in my helmet just moments ago, the worries, the plans, the endless replays of conversations, they start to get keeled away, one by one, caught by the wind and left somewhere behind me on the road. There's no need to think about the next apex or the angle of the lean. There is only forward. And in this pure, simple motion, the world comes into focus. I feel the warmth of the sun seeping through the leather on my back, a gentle, reassuring pressure. The air, rushing past, carries the scent of sun-baked asphalt and distant, freshly cut hay. I become just another part of this moment, A moving shape under a vast sky, a steady sound in a quiet landscape. In the roar of the wind, you sometimes hear the most important answers. But today, something else is happening. The wind isn't whispering solutions or grand revelations. It's just singing a song of emptiness. A beautiful, clean, liberating emptiness. It was in that moment I understood. All that mental noise, that frantic swarm of questions I thought I needed answers for, they weren't really questions. They were just noise. My own noise, desperate to fill a space that was simply asking for silence. The road taught me something important today on this straight, uncomplicated path. We think we need to keep moving to find answers, to solve things. But sometimes we just need to move to get away from our own questions long enough to realize they don't matter. We just need to find that one straight road where the only thing required of us is to be present, to breathe, and to let the silence do its work. A click of the key and the engine's deep rumble fades into a sigh. You know that feeling, when the noise finally stops, but the silence that follows isn't empty, it's full. It's dense with the miles you've just traveled, the hum of the tires still echoing in your bones, the scent of pine and damp earth from that last stretch of forest road. I swing my leg over and push down the kickstand. That solid thunk click, it's a sound of arrival, of punctuation. My bike leans into its rest, perfectly stable now. It's funny, isn't it? For hours, my entire focus was on maintaining balance through motion, a delicate dance between gravity and momentum. To stop moving was to risk a fall. But now, in this chosen stillness, it's completely secure. This isn't the wobbly, tense pause at a traffic light, that constant micromuscular fight to stay upright. No, this is a deserved rest, an anchor cast after a long sail. And it was in that moment, looking at my bike resting so confidently, that I understood something. The road taught me one important thing today. Balance isn't a static state we achieve and then just have. It's the constant, fluid process of moving forward. It's the gentle lean into the curve, the subtle shift of weight to counter a gust of wind, the steady hand on the throttle. That's why this stop is so important. We don't stop to fall. We stop to breathe. We stop to look back at the winding path that brought us here, not with regret, but with gratitude for the lessons in its twists and turns. And then we look ahead. The horizon from this hilltop is so clear, so pure. It's a clean line, waiting for a new story to be drawn across it. We stop so we can choose our next direction with intention, not just react to whatever comes next. In the quiet hum of the wind, you sometimes hear the most important answers. And today, it's whispering that the goal wasn't to stay perfectly still, but to earn the right to choose the next beautiful road.